everyone, Intuitive Edge here. So I wanted to check in again with this coronavirus that has been going around the world and affecting certain places, some more than others, and some are being hard hit with this. And I'm curious as to what the outlay for this is going to be. Now, when I laid out some cards on this question of what's happening with it now, where is this going, I get the World card upside down, and this is a card of things not yet being fulfilled, not reaching the pinnacle of success, not reaching a culmination or a fulfillment. So what this seems to indicate to me is that the virus still has some room to grow, and it is still not done yet in whatever this virus is doing, whether it's propagating itself, however that's being done. When I looked at this World card, I'll show it to you upright, as again, it came in reversed. Now, when I saw this card, I was drawn to a couple of things. With the roots going out in all these different directions, I just saw like this spreading, okay? Now, the card that crosses it, so the obstacle that this is facing was a very interesting card. It is the Four of Wands. This card also came in reversed. I'll show it to you upright. It's a card of frivolity and togetherness and happiness. And when it's reversed, it can be taking things too lightly or not using due caution. So the obstacle that is propagating this ability for this virus to continue to spread are people not taking it seriously, not taking the precautions needed to stay home or to, just sanitize, wash your hands, that kind of thing. People being unnecessarily exposed or just not taking those precautions, okay? That is actually causing this spread. I think it's contributing to it, maybe not causing it, but contributing to it, okay? So in the position of what we know, it's an interesting card here. We have the Eight of Swords. This card also came in reversed, but I'll show it to you upright. Now, this card, as a reversal, it can be like being cramped or locked in. If you think of quarantine or lockdown, that would be a good interpretation for that. It's that feeling of being hemmed in, publicly restrained. So that's what we know is happening and going on in certain areas. And many places are beginning to start that process, if they haven't already, of shutting businesses down, telling people to stay home, and some voluntary quarantines, some are involuntary quarantined. So that is what's happening right now that we're all aware of. Now, what led up to this, we have the Emperor card. This is a card of aggressive action, taking aggressive action, and an authoritative type of figure, an authority person. With this card, it feels as though that authority figure is wanting to or trying to catch up to this happenings. So to me, this Emperor's like, this is what's led up to it, is this aggressive thing took off and now we're trying to catch up. In the past position, I have the Tower. The Tower came in reversed. Now the Tower card, as you can see, it's like disaster, things happening that are, falling apart, mayhem, destruction. And when it's reversed, it's like things going from bad to worse, okay? Now this luckily is in the past, so perhaps that energy of things going from bad to worse is maybe fading into the background a little bit as we work through the bridge, which I call the bridge is the first two cards, that bridge of stopping the spread by maintaining your distance and the hygiene thing and the self-quarantine and all of that. Now, the bridge gets us to the future card, which is the Hermit, another major arcana here. And this is a card of solitude and self-reflection. So I think for the future, that solitude for a lot of people being at home or someplace away from all of the activity is going to help. Okay, this energy of things going from bad to worse it's moving into the past. So if we can keep that energy by that solitude, that's a good way to go. So on the energy we have two kings coming up. These are on the positions of what's going on in the environment and the people around. And there's two kings kind of fighting energy with each of these together. One's reversed and the other is not. Now the first one is the reverse, is the King of Cups. And the other is the King of Swords on the environment. And with the King of Cups, I always think of it as like an offering, making an offer, making a deal. And the King of Swords, you can see his stance there of holding his sword and kind of holding his ground. And that seems like that unwanted, being a reversal on the King of Cups, that unwanted offer of this, germ or virus that's going around. And then the other king of holding your ground and trying to make a stand and prevention and preventing the spread. So those are kind of at odds right now, kind of warring against each other. So kind of locked in a little battle, so to speak. Now, what we hope for, in the position of what's hoped for, is a card of a measure of success. And it came in reversed. I think with this card, this position, it's like we're wanting to have a measure of success in fighting this virus and knowing how and what to do to prevent its spread. The outcome card is a happy card. It's the Empress. This is a card of self-nurture and self-care. So the ultimate outcome of all of this will be, when we're through this, is in a better place by taking care of yourself and honoring yourself and making sure that you are being cared for and caring for others. It's a card of nurturing, not just yourself, but nurturing others as well. So I think that maybe the lesson in this too is, how do we care for ourselves and others when we're distant and not able to be next to someone to help them. So I think that's kind of a lesson that we're all going to get good at is checking in on people and helping people through this, finding out what your neighbors need and that kind of thing. So, but that nurture, that self-care and caring for others is the outcome of this. So that's a natural byproduct. So that's a good thing. That tells me people will be pulling together, using their resources to care for others and hopefully contain this virus by not spreading it. So underneath this all, we've got the Two of Wands. This is a card of a vision and a future and seeing things in a brighter light. So I think we can all use some of that. So I think that's it for this. I just wanted to touch in with this again. This virus kind of exploded, and I'm kind of in ground zero. I live in Washington State, and so where I am, we're kind of on lockdown right now. And so, but I've got lots of supplies and things are good, and I finally got internet at my new house, so everything's hooked up now finally. So anyway, I'll be okay. I want all of you to be okay too. So be safe out there, and try not to expose yourself. Don't go out if you don't need to, and stay safe, everyone. Okay, we'll get through this, and remember to care for yourself and care for others, and we'll catch you next time. This has been Intuitive Edge. Bye now. Stay safe.